When Kia launched the Carens in India, it was nothing short of a blockbuster. It is a vehicle that hit out at the Indian sentiment just right. But the one thing I always wanted to check with the Carens is the functionality element of it. And what better place than Kodaikanal to gauge just what it can offer. So I'm going to be putting it through its paces over here and checking out everything that the Carens is about and what it delivers as a product. While I do review cars and bikes for a living, the other side of my life is that of an entrepreneur who is running a herbal wellness business based out of Kodaikanal. I have a farm where I grow herbal plants and eventually have them packaged and shipped to markets across the globe. Between the farm, my life as a journalist, and keeping the family happy, I tend to put on a ton of kilometers every month, with close to 90% of all my driving being between my house in Kodaikanal down to my farm at the foothills of the mountain. This is a 48-kilometer ghat road, which is extremely scenic, yet quite testing on both man and machine. For me, this is the ultimate testing ground for any vehicle that must win me over, and getting to put the Carens through the paces on the hill really proved to be an eye-opener as I got to realize just how right a product it is. So one of the things that Kia has achieved with the Carens is amazing space allocation. So it's a 3-row vehicle that can be configured to 6 or 7 seats depending on the variant that you purchase. The vehicle that I have with me over here is the 6-seater version. So I've got 2 really nicely contoured front seats. I also get seat ventilation up front, which is an added boon. The second row is 2 captain seats, which are really plush and comfortable. And the third row is this really neat bench, which folds flat into the floor when you're not using it, to give you tons of boot space when you need it. The great thing is that Kia has really thought through this entire seating business. And they've ensured that getting into the third row is not as cumbersome as you would expect, especially when you consider the fact that other vehicles really make it tough to get into the back. So they've given you a really nice push button on the second row seat. Press that, the seat tumbles forward on its own, and you can get into the back. So it's a well thought out car. It is well thought out in terms of convenience, as well as the features to ensure you can access every bit of the car from a seating perspective. And the space allocation, as I said, is just brilliant. So headroom, knee room, leg room, you name it. The Carens has been well thought through. All this has been put to the test as I continuously ferry my family and extended family around between the farm and Kodaikanal. We're a total of 7 people, which includes 4 adults, 2 teenage boys, and my 8-year-old daughter. It goes without saying that the 2 boys love the last row as they get to push that button to get in. The cool factor of that feature is something I would have missed out on, but seeing the delight it gives the kids, it's a winning touch. The ladies in the family love being in the front seat, not because of anything else, but solely for the ventilated seats as it gets hot in the lower hills, and this feature ensures that they travel in utmost comfort. What has impressed me the most though is the fact that the third row can accommodate 2 adults with ease. The Carens is a full-blown 7-seater or 6-seater, depending on which variant you get, and I find it to be extremely practical. So getting 7 family members on board isn't the be-all and end-all of the story. Keeping them safe is my top priority as well, and Kia has not disappointed on that account at all. It is a vehicle that comes with the high safety package, and it is also probably the first vehicle in the mass market segment to offer so many safety features as standard. The list of safety features includes 6 airbags, electronic stability control, vehicle stability management, BAS, HAC, downhill brake control, all-wheel disc brakes, a tire pressure monitoring system, ABS, and rear parking sensors. In addition to this, you get ISOFIX child anchors, front seat belts with pretensioners and load limiters, a speed sensing door lock, and impact sensing door unlock, which are all part of the package. All these features give me that peace of mind that while on board, I cannot elaborate enough on how confidence-inspiring it is to be in a vehicle that is built safe and comes with this many features. As far as driving the Carens around is concerned, the 48-kilometer ghat road is what I like to call my personal hill climb test. Being the road I travel the most on, Any vehicle that I have is measured against how it performs on the drive up and down the ghat. I always say that getting a set of wheels that will cruise down a highway is easy, but a ghat is so much more demanding, and getting a vehicle that does that right is really what impresses me. With the Carens, I can safely say that this has been tick-marked too. At my disposal was the 1.5-litre CRDI VGT variant that delivers 115 PS of power and a solid 250 Nm of torque. It was paired with the 6-speed auto transmission. The refined unit is a boon on many counts. To start with, it powers up the mountain seamlessly. I never felt like I was running out of power, and I also did not find the need to constantly shift gears. I love how meaty the engine felt, and even with the entire family and a few bags on board, I found the ride to be zippy and peppy. The setup is absolutely perfect, and I would have not asked for more from a vehicle designed to carry 7 people around. The icing on the cake is that the Carens remains extremely easy on the pocket. My overall drive cycle of going up and down the mountain, as well as a few short runs down the highways towards Dindigul and Madurai, resulted in an average of 17.6 km to the liter. When you consider the ARAI tested figure of 21.3 km to the liter, you can see that even with the Carens being driven under less than ideal conditions, it still delivers an astonishing level of efficiency. The ride quality is right up there with an entry-level luxury sedan, and on numerous occasions, I have had family members commenting on how much more they have liked the Carens in comparison to a few German cars. No doubt, Kia has done a splendid job in the overall vehicle setup to ensure that the passengers get that pampered feeling while on board, and with the feedback that I've gotten from family and friends who have had the chance to drive around with me, they all vouch for the same. The steering feels great and is nice and light at low speeds. However, it firms up at higher speeds to ensure you have maximum control. It is nice and easy in the hills, and I always felt in control. The suspension setup on the Carens includes the McPherson strut with coil springs up front, while the rear benefits from having a coupled torsion beam axle with coil springs. This has ensured that the Carens soaks up road undulations and minimizes vibrations to the cabin to deliver that quality ride feel without taking away from the handling too much. Yes, the Carens is a big vehicle and it has a long wheelbase, so I do not expect it to handle like a hatch, but given the driving conditions and on a few occasions that I did push it a bit, it still held its line, which is way more than I could have ever asked for. The result is a controlled ride that is confidence-inspiring, yet extremely comfortable. Having put the Carens through its paces over here in Kodaikanal, I can honestly say that it has passed my hill test. It is a vehicle that has delivered in terms of performance, comfort and functionality. Even up in the hills, even under trying and testing conditions, steep inclines, rough roads, everywhere I took it, it just delivered and it just didn't stop. It is a vehicle that delights and you feel great being behind the wheel. Even the family on board, they were all really ecstatic about all the features and the comfort and the convenience that the Carens has to offer. In my books, the Carens ticks all the right boxes. It is a winner on all counts. It goes back to what I said at the beginning. It is a blockbuster on wheels, and I can tell you this much. I know what my next family car is gonna be.